The voter registration fraud charges, you've seen them over and over again. Tonight, I want to show you a closer look at this group, why they are out of control. How are they connected? Who are they connected with? They seem to have a culture of corruption running through this organization. And I got to tell you something. We've got a who was it, Conyers, that said today, we don't really need to look into them. You got to be kidding me, right? Coming up, I'm going to introduce you to two women who know this organization inside and out because they work there. At least one of them still does. She ain't going anywhere. You're going to meet this woman. I swear to you, she's like Rosa Parks. I ain't getting out of this chair. But first, let's take a look at ACORN. The Association of Community Organizations for Reform Now, or ACORN, has been around since 1970. They say they are, quote, committed to social and economic justice through direct action, negotiation, legislative advocacy, and voter participation. The mission is to help those who have historically been locked out become powerful players in our democratic system. They have 110 chapters in 40 states for community organizing and carrying out issue campaigns, ballot initiatives, and voter participation. And ACORN claims to have helped nearly 2 million low and moderate income and minority citizens apply to register to vote. Voter registration sounds great, but it seems to be where ACORN always gets into trouble.
People will walk up to me and ask me, would I sign these papers? So I'll be like, no, I'm already registered. And then they just ask me again, like, I need a job. I'm just trying to hold on to a job. So would you sign this for me? I need 25 of them, or I need a certain amount of them to do it. So me being a kind-hearted person, I say, yeah.
How many times did you sign up?
Like 73 times.
How many?
73 times.
73 times.
This has been the worst presidency that this country has ever known. But that's all right, because we're getting rid of his ass.
We're getting Obama for president.
If you're anything like me, you probably hadn't even heard about this group until the last election, with the alleged fraud and intimidation of voters. In at least 14 states, Nevada filed new voter registration charges against ACORN this week, and I interviewed the Nevada Secretary of State, a Democrat, Ross Miller.
It's against the law in Nevada to pay individual registrants to register people based on the total number of people that you've registered. That's a Category E felony.
Is there such a thing as a handbook, an ACORN handbook that says these things?
We found their company policy directive that outlined for their employees the fact that they were required to meet certain quotas and that these employees were expected to turn in 20 registration forms per day, otherwise they'd be terminated.
Fair and balanced. The next day, I spoke to Scott Levinson, the national spokesperson for ACORN. He was supposed to answer the fraud charges. Instead, I got this.
Let's go further. Let's go further.
Bathing in a sink or fraud?
But Glenn, I want to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hear me on the state furlough program?
Do you not? Identity fraud?
Excuse me?
Excuse me?
I got it.
You talking to me?
I got a state furlough program. State furlough program. The state turned them over.
Voter registration fraud
is not what we were charged with.
Oh, you just were in these other states.
No,
okay.
our employees were.
Your employees
in other states.
Just like
Walmart.
If you had that many employees bathing in the sink in
how many Walmart employees? How many Walmart?
If you had that many, shut his mic off. If you had that many, yes, again, standing here, and he gets up, and I said, "You, sir, and your organization are bad for America," and he said, "You're just afraid of black people." I threw him out of the studio. Get the hell out of my studio. And then he went off. Later, I learned that he called one of my producers a real doll and asked her out on a date. What is this guy living in the 1950s? Is he part of the Rat Pack or something? So what's new here? Well, after that interview, I learned a lot more. ACORN and another organization that has bothered me for a while now, and I didn't know why, the Service Employees International Union, the largest union in North America, are doing the bidding of the progressive movement. They are changing the pictures that you literally see on TV. For instance, the AIG bonuses. Everyone was up in arms. Here are these people protesting at AIG. Well, who are they? It was orchestrated by the SEIU. And protesting at the homes of AIG executives, regular people just like you.
orchestrated by ACORN. Ask yourself, what does a community organization and a union have to do with this story? What do they have to do with each other? Why are they working together?
Hang on.